like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open your shell so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go anywhere. There's no distance too far. And I just can't get enough of your energy. I just can't get enough. You're the spark shining in the dark. Oh, 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 love.
Welcome to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville. I'm happy to have you here. I want to thank everybody who watched our first debut show, and I'm looking forward to lots more. And for those of you that are new, I like to share a little bit about what this show is all about. My hope with It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville is to entertain, inspire, educate, and just have fun in a very real way. A little raw, a little edgy, kind of like me, your host, Cindy. So get a glass of wine, put your legs up, relax, a cup of coffee, and let's just have fun. Let's laugh together, and let's have a good hour together. I'd like to get into some of the things that I do on my show. The first thing is mitzvah time. And mitzvah, for those of you who saw the last episode, you'll know what mitzvah is, but many of you probably do not know what a mitzvah is. A mitzvah is a good deed. So every week we're going to talk about mitzvah time. We're going to have a mitzvah time, and I'm going to share one of the good deeds that I personally did, but I challenge you to do your own every day. Do something good. Do one good deed every single day. My mitzvah for this week, and I'm going to share with you, is I was with my daughter. We were in a car. You know, we were driving and decided we were hungry. We stopped for sushi, and I went into the restaurant to pick up the food. And outside of the restaurant was a gentleman sitting there, and he asked me for $1.75. I mean, what's $1.75? So I happened to have a credit card in my hands. I didn't have any cash in my wallet. And I showed him the credit card, and I said, I'm really sorry, I just have a credit card. And I went inside, and I thought to myself, why is he asking me for $1.75, specifically $1.75? And just then I looked outside, and I saw a bus, public transportation, and I thought, maybe this gentleman wants to get on the bus. Maybe it cost $1.75. So I went back outside and I looked at him and I said, what is it you need $1.75 for? He said, the bus. I was right. So I said, hang on a second. I went to the car. My daughter had cash. I said, I explained what happened. Give me some money. She gave me a bunch of cash. I went over to him and I gave him the money and I said, here you go. We've all been in that situation before. I can say that I certainly have been. And he was so grateful. We gave him enough for the bus, and we gave him enough to grab something to eat as well. And it was just a beautiful feeling. Giving, you receive so much in giving. So remember, mitzvah time. Do your mitzvahs. I want to learn about them. Now, every week we will have a giveaway, and the only way to win it is if you like, share, and comment. So make sure that you like this video. Make sure you comment below and you share. Now, this week, our guest, his name is Alex Fischetti, and he is also known as Alex the Asperger. And this is a book that he wrote, The Lonesome Boy and the Blonde-Haired Angel. And this is going to be our raffle this week. Remember, the way to win this, I'm going to draw the winner's name on Sunday. You must like, you must comment, you must share. So make sure you do that. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our guest, Alex Fischetti, Alex the Asperger. Alex has done some incredible things with his life. Alex has had a challenge that he's overcome, and he's going to come here today and he's going to share all about his life, his journeys, all about the rich and famous and everybody he knows and the amazing things that he's done. So don't go far. Take a sip of that wine, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Silvermine at Home, a Connecticut-based non-medical home care agency servicing Connecticut and parts of New York. Silvermine caters to their clients' needs while offering peace of mind to their families so their loved one can age in place and live their best life possible. Call today to see how they can make a difference in you or your loved one's life. Our family caring for yours. Visit silvermineathome.com or call 203-228-5007.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville. And now I would like to introduce my wonderful guest, Alex the Aspergian. Alex, welcome to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
I'm thrilled to have you here. You are one of my heroes, you know.
Aw, Jay.
Don't blush.
Oh, well, you'll find I'll be doing a lot of that today.
You probably will, because I'm going to be complimenting you a lot.
Well, and compliments to you, the superstar that you are. It's
thank you.
all natural.
Thank you. See, this is a win-win. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your history. Tell us a little bit about your childhood and growing up, and and Asperger's.
Well, I was born and raised in Tarrytown, New York. That's where I lived my first 13 and a half years. And when I was a young man, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. They call it being on the autism spectrum now. They don't use the term Asperger's, but at the time it was being on with Asperger's. And when I was young, we would it was just getting like daily challenges. The way I communicate, the way I do actions, the way I because it's a whole different world, people on the spectrum, and I came from a very I've my parents, Andrea and Nick, and I have a younger brother, Adam, and a younger sister, Olivia. I'm the elder statesman of the children.
Oh, you're the oldest.
And then after 13 and a half years, I moved to I moved to Ridgefield, Connecticut, and I've had 2 terms there, from 04 to 09, and then I moved to Vero Beach for a couple of years from 09 to 2012.
That's nice over there.
Oh my gosh,
right?
It's
especially at weather like today, right?
Especially,
you want to be on the beach.
Although it's interesting having green Christmases there. It's interesting when you wake up one day and you're seeing all palmy and sunny, and it's like an interesting
Christmas ornaments on palm trees.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And and then I came back in Richfield in 2012, and I've been here since, and it's been a very and since then I've done all sorts of different endeavors. I've tried to do as much as I with all the gifts that the Lord has given me. I try to be as beacon of a light as I possibly can, even though I try not to. I do my best to not pass myself off as Mr. Perfect, because goodness knows I'm quite the flawed man. But
we all are flawed and beautifully. What did they say? Imperfectly perfect, right?
Imperfectly perfect. Yep.
And didn't you say something earlier today? What did you say today?
I said, we're all just doing the best that we can. We all have our little ticks. We all have our little things, but we just do the best we can every single day, especially in all these, especially with all these crazy times that we're in.
We have to love each other, right?
We really
love
really
ourselves.
Do. Exactly, we really do. I mean, it's so we do what we can, and I've definitely tried to do the best that I can through whether it be I work as a senior usher at a local performing venue, the Ridgefield Playhouse.
Don't give too much away yet. Don't give too much away yet. We're going to talk about that after, because that's like a big part of your life.
Yep.
And I definitely want to share that with everybody.
And I do a little bit. I do a little, and so I do a little bit of this. I do a little bit of that. I do a whole bunch of mix of things.
Well, let me ask you something. So growing up with Asperger's, I want you to share, because that's kind of challenging.
Yeah.
And did you know, number one, did you feel, I'm going to ask you personal questions. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So did you feel any different than the other children?
In a way, because, I was in special education classes, kind of different than like regular ed classes, and I didn't really fit, it didn't seem like it really didn't fit the norm. Like I was kind of out there. Like I felt like I was like certain
an outsider in a sense.
In a sense, like there was kids known for doing certain activities I kind of like to keep to myself. Be alone, with myself, listen to my music, watch a few movies here and there, and so on. And growing up, I did have a circle of friends growing up, but to the extent, just not like extreme, like Mr. Social, I never I never went. I never went to any of my high school dances or proms. Wait a minute. You never went to a high school dance or prom?
Nope,
never did.
So we might have to arrange a prom.
Well, that's a.
Did you have that ever done?
Well, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I've come to which makes it all unbelievable, the fact that these days now I'm going to all these black tie affairs. I mean, I've.
It is a spoiler.
Oh, it is a spoiler.
We're gonna get to that too.
Oh my goodness, that's and what I'm doing right now. That's one of the things with being on. We always people on the spectrum we like to jump from one thing to another. So much goes on in our heads. It's like a little.
I have Asperger's, because so much goes on in my head too.
It's like a super it's almost faster than computers in a way.
Yeah.
I could the things that can pop up into my head randomly, a random second. I could be thinking of something that happened to me 13 years ago when I'm just sitting here at the moment. One of the most well-known quotes that people always say is be in the moment.
Yes.
But
yes.
Which sometimes it's easier said than done.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking about all these different okay, am I going to say the right thing? Am I going to do the right thing? If I do this, is it going to come off awkward? If I say this, are people going to be oh, why the heck did that person say?
Yeah.
So being on the spectrum, because when you're on the spectrum, sometimes you're not aware of what you do. You're not aware of what you say. And that's why it's good to have such a beautiful. I'm very blessed to have such a beautiful support system that just accepts me for who I am and all the crazy silliness that comes with me.
Right. Well, I think all of us have those thoughts also. That distract you, though. It kind of distracts you from the moment, of being in the moment. So you're right. Try to be in the moment a little bit more, right?
Yeah. And just growing up, and that's why growing up it was very like in Tarrytown. I didn't. My mind wasn't as. How do I put it without it being sounding too complicated? Growing up in Tarrytown, it was more foggy-minded as far as the way I was able to understand myself. But then as I got older and I began to realize as to who I am, it kind of opened things up for me a little bit, and it kind of made me feel it took a lot for me to come out of my shell, because goodness knows, it was. It's unbelievable to think if you can believe this to be true, there was a period of 4 or 5 years where I almost didn't speak, and given that I'm an Italian American from New York, that's a shock. It comes as a shock, right? I'm what the fuck? I'm what the heck is that all about?
How come you don't say coffee and dog? Right?
Oh gosh.
Italian from New York.
Oh, I have a little bit of Italian, a little bit of Irish, a little bit of Czech, a little bit of a whole bunch of mix of nationalities within the fam, and it's been a very interesting ride. I mean, there's been amazing figures who have come.
Don't get there yet. Another spoiler. Another spoiler. We're going to work our way we're going to work our way there to that point. Now, you mentioned your family. You have 2 siblings, right?
I do.
And you are the oldest.
I am.
And then how was your family, how did they embrace Asperger's and, the differences, and how did your siblings, handle it?
I think it's going to be forever an ongoing process because there's so many different aspects to it. I mean, the more people figure things out, the more we figure out, the more we like I'm on the spectrum, and also my brother is also on the spectrum.
Okay.
So we're all learning all these different things and trying to figure things out and trying to navigate through the day and trying to just.
Now, when was your brother diagnosed, and when were you diagnosed?
I'm not sure what years we were diagnosed. What I do remember is that I walked into a doctor's office with my mom, and one of the things with one of the tics that being on the spectrum is that we kind of struggle, with our eye contact, and the doctor picked up on that right away.
Okay.
And the doctor said that he just might have Asperger's. He might be because I was like with my speech patterns and looking around like this and so on, and so
How is it right now? Because your eye contact is incredible.
Now,
what did you do?
I'm doing pretty well.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's we'll definitely have to have good buddies with me to always help bring out the best in me.
Absolutely.
And we have a great we always have a great rapport with one another, and it's good friends like that make me forget that I'm on the spectrum in the first place, that you're glued to.
Right. Well, Alex, you are just one of the richest men in Ridgefield. The richest. And money doesn't mean anything. It's you're rich with love and compassion, and you are so sincere and genuine. I'm going to make you blush. You're so sincere, and you're so genuine and so real, and people just love you. And we're going to talk about how we first met, after we come back from the commercial break. But I'm thrilled that you're here, and you're here to share your story and inspire others. So we're gonna come right back after this next commercial break. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
This is a sexy show. Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey. The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor.
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor!
Entertainment.
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful!
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
And optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Ultraviolet light, it gets in there and it just fights the kung flu, is that right? Okay.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Saville. We're going to get back to talking with Alex the Asperger. So, Alex, I have a few more questions for you.
Fire
You
away.
ready? Okay. So, let's talk about the first day that we met. Do you remember that first day that we met?
Drink Pink 2019.
There you go.
You were one of the models.
You have an amazing memory, by the way.
I was doing a couple of things that night. I was taking pictures, and I was also doing a Facebook Live for Ann's place, and I was walking around the Lounsbury house where the event was taking place. And the miles were like, 1 mile will be here, 1 mile will be there, and I think that was like not really a formal introduction, but like kind of how like an introductory, because we hadn't seen each other. I just came over with the phone. I just said, "Hey, this is Cindy Saville," and I say a couple of things here, and
you
then
said some sweet things. I remember you had the Facebook Live, and you're like, "Look at this beautiful lady," blah blah blah. Right? It was so nice.
You never cease to be a beautiful beautiful girl, and oh my gosh, such a like literally KO knockout, and that was KO. I
love that.
That was
knockout.
It really was, and as
That's a cute one.
and just like in the end of the end quote in Casablanca, it was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. We began to run into each other a few more times afterwards. I believe The first time, the first lunch we had, because you and I, we've had a lot of
Yes.
lunches together.
Yep.
The first one was at the Olive Garden.
Yes.
And because as Italians we love our carbs, and and we
That's
were
right.
and we had the most amazing time, and
did.
and then I helped and then we talked about a wide variety of things. We laugh at the most absurd
Yes.
it's we can laugh about topics of conversation that for most it could be some can be but the great thing about when we talk with you I talk is there's no hint of taboo anywhere within our conversation.
No, exactly.
Ebb and flow.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we first met, I remember you brought me, I bought a copy of your book.
Yes.
I bought it on Amazon. I couldn't wait to read it. And I wanted to learn more about you. And the book is really about you. So I do want to talk a little bit about that in a second. But you gave me some great advice because I was, if you remember, in the midst of publishing my own book, finishing and publishing my first book, which it is what it is over there.
You were working on the drafts when we first got
Yes,
together.
Yes. And I was just about done with the book, and I didn't know how to go about publishing it. And you gave me some excellent advice, and I thank you for that. And because you had just gone through it yourself, you had published your book, which right here, The Lonesome Boy and the Blonde-Haired Angel. And what an amazing story.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a little bit about what inspired you to write this book.
Well, when I was living in Vero Beach, Florida, from 2009 to 2012, I met this extraordinary individual, and her name was Rini. Her name is Rini Semstrad, and she just opened up to me in a way that I never really experienced before. I was 20 years old at the time, and I met numerous people and talked with numerous people. But there's just the connection that I had with her, and the way that she would open herself up to me, and whenever we would get together, we would have let's look at this, give a hug and so forth. It made me feel made me feel.
You met her where again?
I met her at so it's a little different in the book, but in real life, how we met was I was working at the AMC movie theater when I was down in Vero, and I was working as a ticket taker. And it was a long, strenuous day, and I went to go to the local mall to get some carbs.
Yeah.
And
wait. Can we just take a break right there? Let's pause. What's your favorite carb?
Pizza.
And how do you make your pizza? How do you like it made for you?
In a very particular way.
This is very important.
Yes, this is for anybody, all the local pizzerias I ever. I like it with just smooth tomato sauce, and then if it's a good sauce, then there's no need to put anything extra on. But if I do want to put anything extra on, I don't put no mozzarella or anything.
No cheese, just plain, right?
But Romano on the side.
Yes.
Sometimes I like to put so much Romano it would almost look like it snowed on the pizza.
Well, and I'm asking for a reason now. And you like your what do you call those breadsticks, right?
Oh,
you like
yes.
your garlic breadsticks.
Oh,
Yes. So every time we've gone out to eat, I think you've gotten pizza every single time. You chose the restaurant, and you chose the pizza. But I want to tell you.
Although when we went out to the Olive Garden together, I think I had pasta that day.
Oh, you did. You had pasta with tomato sauce.
But and quite a lot of breadsticks.
Smooth tomato sauce.
Yep.
You like it smooth, no texture.
Smooth operator.
Well, I want to tell you, I haven't been to your place yet, and I know you just got a new place. You have your own home.
Been blessed to be there for 7 months now.
I know, and I haven't been there yet. And you've invited me numerous times. Shame on me. I will get there today. But I have a little gift for you, a little gift. And I hope you can use it. Just a little something.
Oh.
And can you guess what this is?
Oh, my goodness. It's like a pizza pan. That's so
It's
great.
a pizza pan. There's a couple of pizza pans. It'll keep everything crisp on the bottom because it has the holes. And a pizza cutter.
You are so sweet. Thank you so much.
I owed you a gift. Mwah.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
God bless.
You're welcome. So that's for your pizza.
This is great. Thank you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're gonna have to make me one, okay?
It'd be a pleasure. That's one of the great things about living on. So I live in a lovely little place. I still live in living right now in Richfield, Connecticut. It's been 7 months in, and I love hosting people. I love making pizzas and pastas and just having one-on-one camaraderie.
All the things I can't eat. Can I make the salad?
It's well, hey, you can cheat. You can cheat at my house. There's no rules at Decathlon.
All right. I'll have to eat your pizza.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a little bit more about the book.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this book. What was the purpose of writing this book?
Well, the purpose of writing the book was to pay tribute to a very special person, which was Rini, because she really inspired me in so many different ways as my spiritual mentor and guiding me through helping me with my faith. My faith in Jesus Christ is my cornerstone. Is what makes me who I am, and it's what will be who I am till my dying breath, and just who I am as a person. Right. She helps just the way I feel about things, think about things. Among some of the many lessons that she's taught me, and because we've known each other now for 11 years.
Oh wow, long time.
Yeah, she's some of the biggest lessons she's taught me was look for the gold in people, and because goodness knows everybody's always digging up the dirt, especially these days. It seems like everyone's digging for the dirt in people these days.
That's why we have mitzvah time here.
It's always you got to find the gold, because
there she is, beautiful, right?
That's my illustrator.
Oh, that's your illustrator. Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful
that's
too.
My illustrator, Cleo, did all the watercolor.
Oh, there she is. Is that her?
Yeah, that's Rini right there.
Right there.
She is my angel,
beautiful.
And she's one of the greatest blessings to ever happen to me. And she's taught me just so very beautifully, simply, and I believe in giving credit where credit is due. And the Lord gave me the talent to put things into writing, and that's what I did.
So let me ask you. In this book, you also share what it's like to have Asperger's syndrome.
Yes. And
what I love, and I'm going to have you later, I'm going to have you read a little something in here, the 10 top ways you can be a great friend to a person with Asperger's or autism. So at the end of the show, I would love for you to read this to our audience.
I'd be delighted to.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, tell you what, we're going to take a commercial break. And we'll be right back with more with Alex. See you soon. Don't go anywhere.
Silvermine at Home, a Connecticut-based non-medical home care agency servicing Connecticut and parts of New York. Silvermine caters to their clients' needs while offering peace of mind to their families so their loved one can age in place and live their best life possible. Call today to see how they can make a difference in you or your loved one's life. Our family caring for yours. Visit silvermineathome.com or call 203-228-5007.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Saville. And we're going to get back to talking with Alex the Asperger. Alex, I have some more questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
Bring it on, right?
Bring it on. Bring it in.
Okay, so I know you have rubbed shoulders with tons and tons of actors and actresses and lots of famous people. Can you tell us some of the people, some of the experiences you've had, and share with us some of those actors and actresses and people that you've met?
It'd be a delight. Can I
ask you? Is the list really long?
All there is quite a few. Oh my goodness. A few in particular come to mind. First of which, so I was 17 years old, and I met this amazing man who became one of my biggest mentors in life for over 14 years, and a lot of you who are watching might know exactly who he is for his work in movies and TV shows or whatnot. His name is Charles Grodin, and he became one of my biggest mentors and one of my best friends, and he was a huge influence on me and helping me to like navigate through life. And I was also junior in high school at the time, and goodness knows I needed all the encouragement and enlightenment I can possibly get. And so Chuck came in at Charles Grodin, but I call him Chuck. Chuck came in at a time when I really needed a figure in my life to really guide me to like where I want to be, and so he helped me like just through life and like taking me places and telling me funny stories and anecdotes and doing fun projects with me. And then he helped me hook up some celebrity interviews. I started doing celebrity interviewing because where I live in Connecticut, there's a lot of big names around town, and I want to talk with all of them. And I've had the blessing of talking with some of the biggest names in show business. Carol Burnett, Peter Falk, Joe Pesci, Warren Beatty. I've had the blessing of talking to all those guys over the phone, just talking about their careers and their families and all that. And they were all so gracious to me. And it was it was a very amazing, blessed ride. And Chuck was a big part in helping me get a hold of all these amazing figures to talk with me for a few minutes, because like I'm like miles away from like any like Mike Wallace or Barbara Walters like interview, but these stars
not necessarily.
And God bless the fact these stars took the time out like to talk with me. With me.
Well, you know what? They're lucky that they had time to talk with you. They're lucky. They're the lucky ones.
You're the sweetest.
That they were graced with time with you.
It was, and
really.
and the friendships that have come from it. Like, because that's one of the things I always like. I've had the blessing of knowing Chuck. Another one of my dear friends is Ed Asner, who you all know from Lou Grant and Mary Tyler Moore, and the younger generations might know him from Santa Claus and Up, and Carl Fredricksen in Santa Claus and Elf, and then Carl Fredricksen in Up.
How do you remember all this?
And it's off the and Ed and me have a very special connection. So I'm on the autism spectrum, and Ed has a son and a grandson on the autism spectrum, and he also has an autism center in Reseda, California. So that connection united us forever together, and not one bad word between us in all the years that we. How
many years?
I had the blessing of knowing Ed for 12 years. 12 years. So Chuck for 14, Ed for 12, and Lord rest both of their souls. They both Chuck and Ed passed last year within 3 months of each other, and that was kind of a very
tough time for you.
Kind of a very melancholy time for me, because it's one. We're all going to lose like those we love at some points in our lives, but. And they were I was very blessed. They lived such great, enriched lives. Chuck and Ed. Chuck lived to be 86, and Ed lived to be 91.
Wow.
But it's like, but you always have that like feeling like just like one more day, just like one more. I guess
it's never enough.
It never is.
It's never enough. It's hard, and it's hard to let go.
And I miss them. I miss them. Especially with this stage of my life where I'm at, like right now, where I wish I could have brought Chuck and Ed over to my house. And I did do a FaceTime with Ed in my house.
Oh, did you?
And so that was so we got to see a little bit. So I got a couple of I always think of I think of them every day. Like Chuck and Ed were definitely two of my biggest as far as like the celebrities they were like two of my closest confidants, and I know a few and I've known a few more over the years. I've known Tim Conway, I've known Robert Vaughn through interviews and running into them in town and so on, and it's been an amazing blessed ride.
Yeah, you've had a lot of fun. You're everywhere we go. When we go out in Ridgefield, everybody knows you. Everybody stops us. Alex, they come and they hug and they kiss you, and you remember we were out to lunch one time, and you said, "Oh, Cindy, can you stop the car?" And you jumped out of my car in the middle of the parking lot. You said, "It's my friend's birthday, and I see her." They were sitting outside, and you ran over there and you wished her a happy birthday. But you're a celebrity in your own right. everywhere you go. I mean, people know of you. I always wanted to be just a Cindy, and everyone knows who I am. Cindy, right? Like Oprah and Ellen, and you're an Alex. Everybody knows you as Alex.
Well,
That's it. We don't need to know your last name. We all know and love you. So
it means a great deal. I'm blessed that the Lord has helped me to come such a long way. It's like socially and knowing so many amazing people within my community who have helped me out so much. A beautiful example is like when I moved into my new house about 7 months ago. It was I was bathed with the most unbelievable amount of light and love. It was. Within a short span of time, I was in a fully furnished place.
That's
just
incredible.
from people giving me like from kitchen stuff to furniture to things from my bathroom, things from my bedroom, and all. It was just the generosity within my community is something that I'm immensely blessed and grateful to have, and that's why I'm so blessed to still be in Ridgefield, living amongst just amazing people all throughout the state. It's
now, do you drive?
No, I do not drive.
How do you get around?
I get family, friends, Uber, that's how I get around. I never really. There was a few. I never really thought about really. I've been in the back with a few, fender benders and goodness. And my feeling was that if the fender benders were as difficult in the back, goodness knows what could have been in the front. So that's kind of like I'll probably stay and I'm grateful because I'm close to town that I don't really have to really think about it as much.
You can walk, right? You can walk to places.
I'm a walking man, yeah.
You keep yourself in good shape that way.
I do my best, because again,
all the carbs you eat.
Yeah, I'm a carbaholic. I'm on the CC diet.
The CC?
Carbs and caffeine.
Oh my God.
So I eat a lot of carbs, I drink a lot of caffeine. Those are like.
So what do you drink? What's the caffeine that you drink? What do you prefer?
It's honestly, this is gonna sound very. This is gonna sound like It depends on what's on sale when I'm at the grocery store that day. Like if I'm going to a store and I see like say Coca-Cola, like buy 3 6-pack for $12.
You get
nab it up right away. Then if I go to another store and I see Pepsi like for like 12 for like $5 or $8. So whatever gets me the caffeine.
So you've got the caffeine, the sugar, and you got the carbs.
Yep.
And you're so healthy.
It means like I try and keep myself as I try and get my steps in. It gets a little hard like during the winter times, but like come spring and summer, if it's not too hot during the summer, of course, and the fall. Like fall is like my all-time favorite season.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, that was a tough time for you, right? It was a tough time for so many people, but
that's putting it mildly.
Yes. The masks and the isolation, right? It took a toll, didn't it?
It's that's definitely putting it mildly. The past 2 years it just seems all of it seems just incomprehensible, and it's going to take me a while to really like digest all that I've had to deal with the past couple of years between having to get used to like wearing masks inside places and being kept with all the people say social distancing. I don't believe that, because if it was social distancing, we wouldn't be communicating via phones or FaceTimes and all that. Mm-hmm. It's physical distancing.
Yes.
So the physical distancing has been really.
You're right. Good point.
It's been really hard, and ever since March of 2020, it's been a whirlwind of different emotions from like because it seems like just like with everybody, life just took like a whole 360-degree turn, and it
overnight, right?
Overnight, basically, and it really messed me up. I'll admit. There was quite a few periods of darkness. Definitely areas of my life that I like trying to get myself in self-control over, and I try to and then at the same time there are other things like last year, for instance. It was 2021 was definitely probably the most mixed bag of things that one can ever. Because on the one hand, it was the best of times. I moved into my first home, and it was one of the biggest blessings that can happen for anybody. But then the saddest of times because I lost Chuck, I lost Ed, I lost my grandmother.
Yeah.
And so it was.
Sorry.
It was definitely so looking back in 2021 will forever be one of the most complex years one can ever look back on. So it was. And I'm grateful that mandates are starting to loosen up these days. I'm hoping that they will continue to do so and just back to the beautiful levels of normality.
Let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
So with Asperger's, people typically with Asperger's, are you open to touch, to hugs? I mean, I know you are, but are most people with Asperger's open to being touched?
I think it's a mix. You know, some people are a little bit sensitive when it comes to touch, and then some are like, "Here, come at me."
That's you.
You know, exactly.
That's you.
Hey, it's like I'm all like, hey, come embrace me in any which way. But some are more, a little bit on the wayside, on the shy side, they keep to themselves. You know, and it was so it's a wide variety of different levels. Like my brother, you know, he's also on the spectrum. He's kind of more like a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more keeps to himself, a little bit more introverted than than most. Like I'm very I'm more like the. So
you're very different. The two of you are very different.
More. He's more introverted. I'm a little bit more extroverted. And then there's also being on the spectrum, certain things being on the spectrum. Like I'm very blessed to be able to live in my own house and figure out bills and all that.
On your own, yeah.
Whereas like my brother, he.
How old are you?
I'm 31 years old.
31.
And
he's single, ladies. He's single.
Oh gosh. That'll make for some interesting. It's but yeah, it's been a very and so it's different varieties from it's all one of the greatest quotes about autism is that some famous doctor said, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. We're all different levels. It's all different varieties.
Well, we're all very unique, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, when we come back, I want to talk about your job, and because you have an amazing job. And interesting, I want to work with you. So stay tuned. We're going to come right back after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Sunday Dinner with Chef Clemente. This is an all-new show about family cooking, Sunday dinner, things we did as a child, bringing back some memories and some tradition. This is how this dish was born. I'm going to show you that in just a couple of minutes. So, the trick with the meatballs, too, when you fry them, you don't want to overcrowd the pan too much. The drizzle, not too much of olive oil, right on top of that fish. So, a little flour. A little egg, Cella Luna, met somebody, everybody drink some wine. Everything's still going. Pass them around, everybody eat a little bit. Come on, we gotta dance. Oh, mama! Get together, go visit your mother, your sister, your cousin. Bring some pastry, some food, get together, eat, drink, be happy. Who wants some linguine, clams, and pastry?
Welcome back to It Is What It Is with Cindy Seville. We're going to go back to our guest, Alex, and have some more questions for you, Alex. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about your job. You have a fabulous, fascinating, interesting, exciting profession. And how long, tell us where you work, how long you've been there, and what you love about it.
I am a senior usher at a local performing venue here in Connecticut, the Ridgefield Playhouse, and it was the first job I ever got anywhere.
Oh, wow.
And my mentor, Chuck...
At what age?
I was 17 at the time.
Oh, wow.
and I'm the senior usher, and
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I've gone from simple to like the senior usher. Like if you go on the ridgefieldplayhouse.org staff directory, you'll see my name under Alex Fischetti, senior usher.
Awesome.
And if any of you want to see a show, the Ridgefield Playhouse is the right place. Is the place to go see a show. ridgefieldplayhouse.org. Go through all the events, amazing shows each and every month. ridgefieldplayhouse.org. And I've been there as a senior usher for about. I started in 2008, and then I moved to Vero in 2009. So it was like a year and a half the first term.
Yeah.
And then I've been back since came back in 2012, and I took a year off because with all the craziness of the pandemic. But I'm back. I'm starting to do shows again, which I'm so happy because it's my home away from home. I know. It's where I met so many of my friends. I've made so many connections. I've signed
family. They've become family to you.
They're all extended members of my family.
I mean, I just went to your birthday party, and where was it? It was in a theater.
It was at the one of the local performing Ridgefield Theater Barn. It's I also like to mention a little thing about where I live over in Ridgefield. Ridgefield, Connecticut is Connecticut's only cultural arts destination. I mean, they have a little bit of everything from a performing venue to a dance conservatory to a contemporary museum. It's to like
they should pay you. I think Ridgefield should pay you to represent them.
That's
I mean, it's a beautiful town. Beautiful.
So blessed to be there, and so I'm so looking forward to doing shows. Now that the mandates are starting to loosen up. and
I agree with you.
You know, and just
thank God.
And then also on the side I do a little social media work. I'm part of the organization called Local Social Media, run by the fabulous Brigida Stone. Nice. And I'm known as the man about town. Like if I see something on the sidewalk or anything or in stores, I take a few pictures, make a few connections, and I get work that way. And it's and I'm grateful each and every day that both jobs we're still there and help sustain me in the midst of all these all the crazy chaos that's been going on.
Yeah, thank God. So when with the mask mandate, I mean, obviously you don't like wearing the mask. It's very claustrophobic.
Extremely.
What is it about the masks that you don't? Because again, going back to work now, obviously they've lifted, they've relaxed, the mandate, which makes it a lot easier for you, better, more comfortable for you. But what was it about the mask that you?
Well, you hit the nail right on the hammer with being claustrophobic, because that's exactly what it was like. It's because the Playhouse can be a little bit. The Playhouse is a crazy like you get your fair share of patrons coming in and doing all sorts of different things here and there, and you have different. But then you put the masks in. And like if you're going from one area to another, and like you have to, you're trying to breathe.
I know.
Because it really affects your insides. It affects how like your concentration. It's like
especially when you have all that going on in your head, right?
Yeah, there's enough going on in my head already.
Exactly.
That's why it'll be a long time before I put myself on any commercial planes. I mean, commercial planes will be the last line of in normality starting to return, because it's because it was a lot. I just couldn't sit like just the math because. Sometimes I'll be able to, like, if this store requires I might have to go in and get a little something, I'll obey, because being respectful and all that. But but for long periods of time, it was just too much for me. And
well, I remember we would get together and we'd do away with our masks. Like, don't tell anybody.
I know. We're all going to get together one day. We're going to have a mask bonfire.
I love it.
And we're going to
I love it.
Burn them all to kingdom come.
I love it. I think it's a great idea.
Thank the Lord we're starting to come to the end. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it was a very difficult. I mean, it's coming out, and it feels all the more weird like when you're coming out of it. It's like all of a sudden like, okay, so now life is.
But you did it. Look you went through it all, and look where we are today.
By the skin of my teeth.
And you're here on my show. It is what it is.
I know.
I know.
Right?
Who would have thought back in 2019 when I met you right? That our friendship would have evolved and blossomed. Now, you have another very special friend.
Yes.
Your bestie.
Kristen.
Who's your bestie? Yes.
Kristen Jensen, my
Yes.
bestie, and that's the connection with you and how you and I started.
That's exactly
And Kristen actually also met at the Playhouse. She was doing a Drink Pink event. We had a Drink Pink that took place at the
You see,
Playhouse.
I love this color.
Oh yeah, this
Pink,
is
drink pink,
awesome.
drink pink.
I have a shirt this exact same color.
I love the color. And real men can wear pink.
You know, exactly. Like I have a pink shirt that I wear frequently, and I wear it. You see me wear it.
I have seen you wear it. I think we went out once and you had that on. Yes.
We did.
It's a sharp color.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's and I just and
How did you meet Kristen? You said you met her.
I met her at the Playhouse. She was
Wonderful.
she was shooting this Drink Pink event that was happening at the Playhouse, and we just.
How long ago?
It was in January of 2014.
Okay, wow.
So
you've known
going
her.
on this year will be 8
so
years.
you've known Kristen. I mean, you've known her very well because I got closer with Kristen towards the end of my cancer journey.
Yeah.
But I met her in 2015, and that's So
about-
a year,
how about
a year
that?
after you, yes. And then I went through my horrible journey, but she was,
Yeah.
oh gosh, she was a light in mine,
and a light.
inspiration in mine.
And a life for me too. I mean, goodness
Yeah.
knows, in the years that we've known each other, I've gone through so much, in my life. Whether it be with family, whether it be with this, or whether it be with that, and it's a blessing to have such a special soul in my corner to help guide me through it. Because in very icky circumstances, it's good to have a good bestie right by your side.
Absolutely, means everything.
It really does.
Well, Alex, I want to thank you for being on the show today. It is
you.
what it is with Cindy Seville, and quite an honor to have you here.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Very enlightening, very inspirational. I do want to finish off with my final thoughts. And every week I have final thoughts. And this week I'm going to have Alex share our final thoughts because I'm going to have Alex read his very own words to you. I couldn't say it better. So I do want to remind everybody that we have our raffle, Alex's amazing book that I own as well. You're going to love. Make sure if you want to win, the more you like, the more you share, and the more you comment, the more chances you have of winning. So get the word out there, spread the word, and let me know that you did so. So like, share, and comment. And the more you do it, the more chances you have of winning. So Sunday, I will draw the winner. Make sure you're on Facebook checking it out because I will announce the winner. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I do want to add, Alex, I want to add that people can find your book on Amazon. I want to remind everybody, can find your book on Amazon. And Alex is around. He's local, and he's willing to do signings anytime anybody's interested in having. And he does amazing talks. You do amazing. I've had you come and present on National Autism Day, and you did a beautiful job. And the audience loved you. You sold many, many books. You know, lots of pictures and signatures. So you're available for that as well. And go visit him at the Ridgefield Playhouse. I'm going to. So, Alex, I'm going to have you read right here, top 10 ways you can be a great friend to a person with Asperger's or autism. This is really helpful. Thank you.
Top 10 ways you can be a great friend to a person with Asperger's or autism. Number 1, be as positive as you can. Number 2, have a good sense of humor. Number 3, be as patient as possible. Lend a hand when you can see they are struggling. Number 4, try not to be judgmental with them. Number 5, when asking their help for anything, be as specific as you possibly can with what you want them to do so they can help you without any confusion or difficulty. Number 6, if at any point in the middle of talking to you they suddenly stop to gather their thoughts, give them time. They're trying to find a way to say the right words to say to you without sounding confusing or rude. Number 7, if you don't know them but frequently see them around town, work, or school, gently ask them to join their circle. If they say yes, great. But if they say no, let them have their space. Number 8, never force them to do anything. Let them make as many decisions on their own as possible. Number 9, take time to learn what makes them happy and what they enjoy doing so you can figure them out better and they in return can be more comfortable with you. And number 10, never stop telling them what a blessing they are to you and to the world.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome advice. Please join us next week. Remember, like, share, comment. You want to win that book? Like, share, and comment. Thank you for joining us. It is what it is with Cindy Seville, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Live your life like a dreamer. Fly all over the world. Open yourself so the world can see. You're a beautiful pearl. Live your day like you mean it. And don't forget who you are. You're free to go